a law partnership, but I'm there on that, and we got a jury verdict. The other side's appealed, and I was there on that. But there were two other cases argued that day on Wednesday, and one of them was a judgment of over $1 million that had been obtained against the Missouri Department of Corrections for a lady who was sexually harassed, and it was fairly egregious facts about the harassment. And she also had a retaliation claim that after she'd complained about it, they treated her worse. She had lost on the harassment claim, but had won, had over $1 million verdict on the retaliation claim. And I mean, that's typical. That's not at all unusual. So it's always a good idea to consider making a complaint to better set up the retaliation. And
Okay.
that's what I was talking about. But I need to have your timeline, and so I can evaluate what we can talk about.
I think that I would like to go ahead and make a formal complaint to the Board of Healing Arts then.
All right. Well, you can, if you want to do me a separate timeline on that, that would be helpful. Do one on yourself generally, and then do the other one on Dr. Smith. So let's do two timelines.
Okay. All right.
I was thinking that possibly the sexual harassment of Dr. Thompson revolves around not things that occurred in the office, but issues that arose out of labor and delivery at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't bring to mind specific examples, but I think that she was treated poorly by the nursing staff over there, by the director of that department, and
She made specific complaints, written complaints, to the hospital hierarchy about Dr. Smith's behavior, and they didn't do anything about it. They completely ignored it.
Well, it's going to. What happens in that depends upon facts of her case that you don't know about.
Right.
And what Weldon said may be true. It may not be true. We don't know what it's about.
well, I could have only heard that from
Yeah.
Dr. Thompson, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't see any harm in me making contact with this Jacqueline Sexton.
That doesn't bother
So
me.
I probably will do that, and I may learn a little bit more about what that's about. But keeping your emotions out of it's important, because otherwise, you know, I'll make the analogy of Trump. You know, he has trouble keeping his emotions out of things. You don't want to be like Trump. You know, you want to be more like the no drama Obama.
No.
And well, there's something you may not like him, but he certainly had a better disposition, in my opinion.
No, that's true.
And I think he's probably smarter, even though he didn't get as rich. But the way Trump got rich, I'm not sure any of us want to get rich the way he has done it. And I'm not sure how rich he is either. Maybe the reason he doesn't want to see the tax returns is not only because it would reveal inappropriate conduct, but he may also be embarrassingly illiquid, and who knows what he's dealt with. I don't think very highly of the man, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I think that's a game plan. You're going to do a timeline on both of them, and then when you get those done, let's get back together. We'll meet, talk.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll still have a job then. If you don't, well then we'll cross that bridge.
I have a lot of very unhappy patients.
Well, do your best to keep them happy. And
No, I mean, if I left there, they have told me.
Oh, I know.
They have told me that.
I know.
So,
You can practice anywhere, can't you? You have to be with a physician to practice.
yes,
You do.
in the state of Missouri. Now, if I go elsewhere, I don't have to be. There are certain states like New Mexico where we're thinking about moving.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm nearly 64, and
Sure.
I mean, I love my job, but I absolutely abhor what's happened since Obamacare. It has made our lives as clinicians 10 times harder.
Well, you know, Obamacare has maybe not worked out perfectly, but what was before it wasn't either, and we probably would benefit from having some type of government-provided health insurance, in my opinion.
Oh, Mr.
We've
Rom.
had it for years.
Mr.
Well-
Rom, I worked in the single payer system in Great
Yeah,
Britain
and
before
it
I
wasn't
came.
perfect.
I would choose the American system any day of the
Really?
week over the single payer
Well, I've
system.
never been in it, so I don't know.
It's I mean, I could tell you some things about that. It's
I
No,
understand
we-
Switzerland's system works fairly well.
Germany does.
And Germany.
Germany's, and I could never understand why we went modelling this system on Germany, because they've got individual, insurance companies, but they're
Right.
not for profit.
Right.
And when they do make a profit, it goes back into the corporate, it's up to the benefit of the individuals.
Right.
And it's not. I really abhor any government interference in certain things, and I don't think the government should have its sticky fingers in healthcare. That they make us ask the most asinine questions to the patients.
Yeah.
And most of this has to do with them tracking things that people are doing and has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the health of the patient. And from where I'm sitting, I've just become more and more angry as time has gone by, because a lot of my patients have lost their insurance because of Obamacare, because they work for factories and different
Right.
things, and those companies have dropped healthcare
Sure.
and told them go out onto the market, and they can't afford it, so they pay the fine.
Well, it certainly hasn't worked out well.
No,
Yeah.
no, so...
Well, I appreciate your input on that. I don't know what's best, and that's not my area of expertise, but
Well, I could figure out a much better system.
I'm sure you could. All right.